How much of your produce ends up in the trash every week because it rots and you don't have time to eat it? Hi, I'm Maria. Welcome to Living Planet Friendly, where I share my imperfect, low-waste, plant-based, planet-friendly lifestyle. Today's video is highly requested on all of my platforms about how to store your produce. Good morning. My partner's in the shower and Waffles always keeps me company when I finish my coffee. Okay, so today we're going to the textile recycling bin to drop off some clothes that had holes in them that are unrepairable. Then we're gonna go pick up something from my Buy Nothing group, which is for my eco-friendly wedding in March. Then we're going to return our aluminum cans and plastic drink bottles. Then we're gonna go to the grocery store to stock up on produce, and then I'm gonna show you guys how I store my produce to make it last as long as humanly possible. I'm not gonna buy one of every single type of produce because I won't eat it, so it will go to waste, but I am going to be buying one of every group and how to store them the same. For example, I store strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries all the same way. I'm probably only going to buy strawberries today just because it's out of berry season and I try to always shop in season. Okay, so I'm not going to video while driving because it is incredibly snowy, but my car is so full. I've got all of our cans, which are 4 black contractor bags and some other bags. I've got a huge garbage bag of clothes to recycle. Okay, change of plans. I got my Buy Nothing. It's a beautiful card box. I could not pull into any of the parking lots because they were not plowed yet. Wegmans was plowed though, so we're gonna go to Wegmans first and do all of our shopping and hope that in an hour everything's gonna be plowed. I'm also gonna be returning some cans and bottles here, so okay, that was literal chaos. But I got everything I needed, all the produce I needed, and I returned all of our bottles and got $30. So this is why you should recycle and return your cans. I was able to get about half of our produce plastic free, which isn't too bad. I am abandoning plan, and I'm gonna leave the bag of clothes to recycle in the car, and the next time I pass by it is when I'm gonna drop it off because I just wanna go home. Okay, so I just got home. I'm sweating because my car got stuck at the bottom of our driveway, so I had to shovel it out and dig it out, so I'm not pleased with the situation. Okay, so here are my 3 bags of groceries. I'm gonna unpack them and then put all the produce in one spot. Okay, so this is everything that we're working with. We got quite a lot. Every single time I post a produce video in the sink, I get a lot of questions about whether or not I disinfected my sink and how do I trust my sink for being so clean. Well, I use disinfectant beforehand. Just because I don't show it in the video doesn't mean I don't do it. I'm almost out of it, so I'm gonna make some more and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so you want isopropyl alcohol. I use the 70% just because that's what's widely available. All right, so this is how I do it. I have a little bit left in there, so I'm gonna add two and a bit of tablespoons of this. Then I'm gonna do a cup of vinegar and a cup of water. I hate when the vinegar is so high. Okay, now I'm just gonna fill the rest up with water. And I usually like to pick a essential oil flavor to help cover up the smell. I think I'm gonna go with lemongrass today. I want 10 to 15 drops, doesn't have to be exact. So I'm just gonna shake it up a little bit. And then you're ready to go. I'm also just gonna do a little bit of dish soap to get some of the normal grime off. Okay, now I've got my mix and I'm just gonna spray the whole sink. Now I'm just gonna let it sit for 5 minutes. Okay, now I'm back. I'm just gonna do one final rinse. This is just a sink stopper. Avocados and onions will go right into our fridge drawer. Same for garlic. Garlic will just end up going into the fridge. I've tried storing them in cabinets, which is I think how you're supposed to do them, but the humidity I think is too high in my house and they mold so fast. So we just leave them in the fridge. Hi Waffles, thanks for joining. Okay, now this is total personal preference. If you're gonna eat your lettuce within a week, you can do this. If you don't want to eat it and want it to last, don't do this. Stick it in the water whole. I'm not gonna do that. We go through our lettuce pretty quick. And we're just gonna chop the bottoms off. And you want your leaves to be separate because oftentimes there will be bugs. Gross. Okay, our sink is pretty much full. It's just cold water right now. And I'm gonna wash the spinach separately because it's really annoying to pick out of the sink. So even though this is pre-washed, I will re-wash it. I didn't used to, but then somebody had told me that there's still a lot of bacteria and stuff that can be in the bag. So now I wash it too. So I don't really go by any measurements. I just kind of go for it. You can also use vinegar, but I've had better luck with baking soda. I'm gonna put this around. Alexa, set a 10-minute timer. I'm doing strawberries first because they're the most sensitive to the baking soda. We're also gonna do a quick rinse of them. Just to absorb any extra moisture. I usually use a paper towel, but I had these Swedish dishcloths from Package Free, so I thought that it would be a great use. Okay, and there we are. Strawberries, now these will go right in the fridge, and they should last at least 2 weeks. This is gonna go into my salad spinner. We're gonna spin out as much water as I can. We're gonna let this spinach air dry a little bit better. Okay, a lot of what's in the sink can just be towel dried and then put into the fridge. So we've got our lemon, cucumber, towel dried, and it will also go into the fridge. And peppers. So these were really dirty. These had like a bunch of grime and stuff in here, and it's very clean. So we're just gonna dry these off. Broccoli. We're gonna cut and prep this. Okay, cauliflower. This definitely has to get used today because it's starting to turn a little bit black and I didn't notice it in the store, probably because it was wrapped in plastic. Chop a tiny bit off of this end because the end is super dried out with a little bowl of water holding the stem into the fridge just so it lasts through today. Green onions. Okay, so I chopped them off about here. These are gonna go into water. And then these we're gonna use for dinner tonight. Because we're gonna use these with dinner tonight, I chopped them off. You can store these in water and they'll just continue to go on your countertop. So if you're not gonna use them right away, don't chop them off of their stems, just pop them in a cup of water. I have discovered with our household that if the broccoli sits like this in the fridge, we don't eat it. If you want to keep it for longer than like 2 weeks, put it in a bowl of water. We're just not going to use it. So I'm going to prep it now so then it's easy to grab and go and use. Okay, and then this broccoli stem, is gonna go into our reusable bag that's gonna go in the freezer for veggie broth. Now all this broccoli is just gonna go into a stasher bag and it'll last about a week this way. If you're not gonna eat it within a week, then just pop this bag right into the freezer. But if it's not cut like this, we won't eat it. We'll just stare at it until it starts to go bad and then at the last minute eat it. Sometimes not even that. It's pretty air dried, so we're going to pop it into this container. Paper towel on top that's gonna absorb any excess moisture. And then in the fridge, you wanna store it like this. So any excess moisture drips down onto the Swedish dishcloth. Okay, so this is all the lettuce and the cauliflower leaves. Now, if you're not gonna use your lettuce within the week, don't cut it. Just leave it as whole leaves and pat them dry and then stick them in the bin with a paper towel. This container is full and I don't wanna overstuff it, so I popped a Swedish dishcloth in top. We're gonna close it up and we're gonna store this the same way we stored the spinach, upside down. And this will last at least a week. These are not soft at all, so I have no problem taking them off of the vine. If they're even just a little bit soft, you wanna keep them on the vine to last as long as possible. Here are all my grapes. I'm just gonna rinse them again. I like to store my grapes in glass, but I have not noticed a difference whether I store it in glass or a stasher bag. So I usually just store it in whatever I have available at that point. Now these jars are gonna go into the fridge without a lid. Easy to grab and go. So this is what my sink looks like. There's definitely just like obviously pieces of vegetable that are floating. Then there's also some bugs. So this is why I do it. Okay, potatoes are just gonna air dry. Once they're done air drying, they're gonna go into my pantry. Okay, so this is how I prep my carrots. You definitely don't have to peel the skins. I eat my carrots raw and I cannot stand the texture of the skins. Then all the skins, if I know I'm gonna make like orange food dye, I'll save them and dehydrate them and grind them. But typically they just go into my veggie broth, which is perfect because carrots are great for veggie broth and I don't have to add any extra carrots to my broth. And then I will cut a bunch of the carrots into matchsticks to fill a jar so I have enough to snack on for a few days. Okay, so I'm still prepping carrots, but that took about an hour and a half of prep. I totally understand if like people don't have the time to be able to do that. For me and my family's lifestyle, it's a lot easier for us to do this. Normally we don't have this much produce. Normally it takes me about 45 minutes to prep. We don't usually buy all of this produce. A lot of people you will see will have conflicting responses about whether or not you should use baking soda or vinegar to clean your produce. I have found that they both last about the same amount. Like one is not better than the other, but it could also definitely be impacted by where you live. Like people in more humid climates might have a harder time washing things and leaving things on the counter. Like I know sometimes during the summer we have a really hard time with our potatoes, so we have to store them like in our fridge, which I know you're not supposed to do, but I do anyway. So check with your doctor before you do that. So this is all very dependent on where you live. It's better for you to try each technique yourself and figure out what works best for you and your family. If it works better for you to not prep everything immediately once you get home, great, then don't do that. Do it before you eat the things. You definitely should be trying this on your own. There's no way for me to guarantee and say, oh, this works every single time. Storing your carrots in a mason jar with water works every single time. So here it is. My fridge is now full. We've got our carrots in water, our green onions in a glass bowl, our cauliflower in water, these loose carrots just hanging out. Our fruit is in jars. Our lettuce and spinach have on paper towels on the bottom, so then all the water drains down. Broccoli's prepped in a bag. Extra lettuce is in the back. Inside my vegetable drawer, we've got our peppers, avocado, cucumber, lemon, apples, garlic, and onion. All of these just stay here. And then this is a little slider for vegetables and fruits. So vegetables stay loose in here. And there's your little bag of potatoes. If there's any produce that I forgot that you really want to know how to store, be sure to leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more eco-friendly living content. Follow Living Planet Friendly on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. I hope you have a great day and see you next time.